Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It is another great Friday, end of the week. Hope everyone had a good week. And tonight's going to be a special one because we have, as I have stated on Instagram, we have the one and only B. Davis from Long Time Coming. It's going to be a fun show. Every time I start a show, I'm always just blown away by the continued support by the frequent viewers, the people that come in every week. That means a bunch to me. And I just can't thank you guys enough. So thanks so much for tuning in. Yeah. Braandon, how you doing? How was your day?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm here. My day was long. But I did some good stuff. You know, if the people checked out my Instagram, then they would see that I was out here in these streets today. I was out here in these streets on a scooter, scooting around. Scoot.
You got it. Is it one of those battery powered scooters?
Yeah, man. I got the 9-bolt set. I mean 9-bolt. Jeez, what am I talking about already? 9-bot Segway. So I bought that about 2 years ago. Facebook Market deal for all those who don't know. So I picked that bad boy up, and it's been drive it to work. There's my wife. There's the dogs. I used to drive it to work, which would take about 45 minutes to go 8 miles, but this is now that's happening.
Yeah. Well, for everybody that's new to the show, this show's just really relaxed. It's I try to make it as best as I can as just a hangout between me and my co-host and the people in the chat. It's not really a Q&A kind of style show. It's not a question and answer style show. Although if you do have any, questions, throw those in the chats and we'll get to them and try to answer them the best we can. We are by no means professionals. We are just the your lawn dads that are overly obsessed with their lawns, and we have a bit of experience, so we may be able to answer them. But we are humans. So we may make a mistake or two. But we'll try to help out if we can. Really, it's just kind of a show, just hanging out, talking lawn, chopping it up, and that's really what it's all about. I try to make this a show for everybody just to come hang out and take it easy. That's really what it's about. So I can't really say much to that. I just wanted to I always like to say that just to give people kind of an idea of what the show's about, because I know we may have some new faces in here, and I greatly appreciate that. So.
Listen, Ben is right, but don't ask me no grass question, because clearly you guys know I just go out and just do it. That's just what happened. And now with this Bermuda, I have to be more strategic about how I do it. When I had the Bahee, I just throw whatever on. No problem with it. I just throw whatever on it. But now with the Bermuda, the game has changed, and I can't just be out here, just in them streets like that. But who knows? Will I still be out here in them streets like that? Well, Ben, of course I will.
We know you
You know.
will.
Listen, I want to give a shout out real quick to my main man here in the chat, Dad Who Mows Best. That is my man. Now I don't know if you heard of him or anything of that nature before, Ben, but that's a Texas boy. He live in Dallas, and on his Instagram, um, he is into woodworking, and he does some beautiful stuff like cabinets and all this other type of stuff. Him and I talk quite a bit. So big shout out to my main man, Dad Who Mows Best. Over here in Texas.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to
what's
check
dog?
him out. I have not I have not I didn't know about him on Instagram or on YouTube, but I'll definitely check him out, and everybody in the audience, go ahead and check him out, give him some love, subscribe, like, comment, all those fun jazzy social media things. But it reminds me when you said running the streets. I remember when you were in Florida and you were hopping
Okay.
hopping along the some of the construction sites nearby and carrying home some sod in that Fisher Price car.
Li- Listen now. First and foremost, am you know, I plead the fifth. That's first and foremost. I'm going to just go ahead and plead the fifth right now to that. Second of all, I don't want to say anything that might incriminate me. So everything that I say will be allegedly. So allegedly, you witnessed me taking some stuff off of the construction sites of the house building on my YouTube channel. Allegedly, right?
I mean, as far as I know, you bought it.
Exactly. And hypothetically, if that was the case, what was I doing hypothetically?
I mean, I think you were just trying to, help your lawn out, make it look good.
Now, at one point, if if that was the case, then yes, allegedly I may have went to a site, had some time, and I may have grabbed that side on my daughter's Fisher Price car, who she was very upset about it, and so was my wife. And I may have laid that down in the backyard. That was probably allegedly,
Was
of course, that was probably straight Bahia grass.
Is that something they like when you're building a house in Florida? Is that one of the grass types you get to choose as far as sod, or is it sometimes you don't get to choose at all?
Of anything that's Bahia grass, you don't get to
Okay.
choose. That is exactly what they will put out. And the thing about it is, in that neighborhood, um, everybody had St. Augustine grass in the front, and everybody had Bahia grass in the back. Reason was because they did not want to put sprinkler systems in the backyard. They'll put them in the front, but they didn't put them in the
Mm.
back. And when I asked that, I'm out on the play. I gotta give a merge drop to my main man, the line whisperer, Justin. There, I'm rocking this dad hat that he gave me a while back. I mean, it only took us about 2 years for him to send it to me, but there you go, Jess. You're all good. Anyways, so I was like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do? Oh, well, it's highway grass. You won't need to water it that much. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, yeah, sure. And if you go back and see where I started with the Bahia grass and where the high point of the Bahia grass was looking great, it definitely needed water. I had to water it old school way. Just kind of got the water hose and got the little spigot, and just locked and load, so I'm not mad at that. Now I will the Bermuda here in the front and in the back, I do not have water sprinklers at all.
You don't have irrigation?
I have no irrigation. Now
Okay.
I'll tell you the story. They asked, they said, okay, what would you prefer? Would you prefer, you know, having grass in the backyard, or would you prefer to have like a sprinkler system, but of course it would be more money and a DIYer, aka a lawn tuber, myself was like, girl, give me no grass in the back because I got something coming for that. Give me no grass in the back, and then I figure out the water sprinkler, the irrigation system later down the line. So that's how that worked. So now I'm just kind of hand watering up and down, and I'm trying to figure out my routine for the irrigation system. But that right now,
Yeah, that's what it was like for me at my old house. The previous house we just moved from, we didn't have irrigation there. I did all hand watering, or I don't really call it hand watering. I had to move around hoses or whatever.
yeah,
Um, but once like, I did it for a while. I played around with different sprinklers. I did the oscillating ones. I didn't like it, and then I finally got the impact sprinkler, and that was what I went with, and just once you do it for a while, you just figure it out. You figure out what points you are needed at, how long you need to go. It's not as bad as people think it is. Although I would say I do remember when I had before I was a stay-at-home dad, I was waking up sometimes 4 in the morning to go set the sprinklers in the lawn, and
right.
that'd be what I did. But I would say, like, having an irrigation system for the size lawn I have now, which is around 9,000, I would have to pick and choose what area I wanted to have, watered, because it's not realistic to go move around sprinklers with a lawn this size, just because
Thousand.
it's just what did I misspoke? 9,000, not did I say 900,000? I meant to say 9,000.
No, no, no. You said nine
Okay,
thousand.
but yeah, I kind of like I enjoyed moving the sprinklers around because it was just, I don't know, it was kind of becoming one with something, because you have to do so much more manual labor. It's not just pushing a button and then it goes, or setting a schedule and it does it by itself. I feel like you learn a lot about your land, as Alan would say, when you're having to move sprinklers around, because you learn how to best cover the area that you have with sprinklers. You'll figure out which areas are going to dry out and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just kind of almost like an old school type of way.
So that brings me to my next story here is before I got into like the whole lawn care situation DIY. We bought our first house. This was back in 2014. Lived in that house from 2014 to 2017. Nothing about grass. I knew nothing about irrigation. I knew nothing about anything. Only thing I knew was just from cutting my grandma's lawn, many, many years growing up and cutting my own house lawn and things of that nature. I ain't know nothing about it. So I had this grand idea, like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. I am gonna get sod, because I had a spot. I wish I could bring these pictures up and show you. I had a spot that was just nothing but dead grass. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get sod and put sod there. Go to Home Depot. Now that's my first mistake. Because anybody, I believe, in my opinion, anybody, when you get side of the game, and like sod farms and how many like nurseries is in your area and things of that nature, you kind of tend to slow up with like getting stuff from like the big box stores, because to me, the nurseries and things of that nature, they have much better, choices with stuff. I was at Home Depot. I got all this sod and everything like that. I came and I just kind of threw it down on the grass and all that kind of good stuff. It started to die. I was like, I don't know what's going on. And I was like, oh, that's because I don't water it. So I said, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a above ground sprinkler system. So I got my water hose. I kind of dug a trench down into the corner, like the corner of the grass where the driveway is, everything at. I dug a hole down there. I went to Home Depot and I bought the pieces. I bought kind of like the spigot, and I bought the attachments. I had an L-shaped elbow on the end that could connect to the water hose, and I put all that down in the hole there, covered it up with just the spigot. Once the water turns on, it'll shoot up and everything, and it'll go ahead and water it. It was pretty good. It worked out pretty well. I think that was the start of my mad scientist of like just trying crazy stuff. Right then and there. But as the grass started to set, I'm like, why is this grass looking like this? What is going on? And then I realized now at this point, I come across a couple of you guys on YouTube and things of that nature, especially Alan. And I come to realize that I laid St. Augustine grass right on top of Bahihi grass.
Mm.
And and the Bahihi grass was taken over. And I was like, oh, yeah, so that's what it is. So that was the start of it, and that kind of got me going with really starting to understand my yard. And I said, okay, when we move into this new house, it's over with. I'm going to do my research, do my homework, watch videos, check these guys out. I knew nothing about cool season, warm season. I knew nothing about that. All I saw in their grass, and I was like, man, I need my yard to look like that, and bada bang, bada boom. Almost two years later, here I am. Still out here in these grass streets.
That's right. And I think most people, I think a lot of people in the chat would probably have a very similar story,
Hmm.
because what your story is very similar to mine. And I think, I heard it from Jimmy. I've heard it from Justin. I don't know about Brett. We didn't get into that with Brett when he first started
No.
doing that kind of stuff, but I think a lot of people have that same story. So I'm gonna jump in the chat real quick and give people some shout outs, give people some love, and just let's see who's up in here. We got Will from Chips and Guac. If you guys don't know who Will is, you need to go check his YouTube channel out. He's out in
Mm.
the ATL with a beautiful Bermuda lawn. Uh, yeah,
Hey.
yeah. Go check him out. Subscribe. He's got some good stuff going on over there. Super TA, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in. Keith, the Striper Man, what up? Pacific Northwest Lawns. Let's see. Lawn Analyst. Nebraska, the loyal. Man, this is so awesome. Bush League Lawn, what's up, Brandon? Scott O'Hare. Dandy Lawn and Maintenance. Jonathan Orange. We got Elevated Lawnscapes.
Look, that's my man right there. Elevated landscape. That is my man. I mean, even though he looks like Tyron Woodley from the UFC and all, that's my dude right there, man. He just threw out a video. I think today or yesterday or whatnot. Go check him out, man. That's my man's right there.
Dad Who Mows Best, thanks again, man. Thanks for tuning in. Bush League Lawns, he's another guy that has a great YouTube
Yeah.
channel. He's up in here in the St. Louis area where I'm at.
Yeah.
Dad Who Mows, he has a YouTube channel, right, Brandon?
No, Dad Who Mows is strictly on
Oh, just on
Instagram.
Instagram. Well, go give him a follow. Nebraska, what up, Justin? Thank you for tuning in. Sean Gregory, Jimmy Lewis, what's going on,
Oh,
buddy? Just watched Jimmy's
yeah.
recent video that he put out today about cutting his grass in the pots.
Cuts with the goddamn bush.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, ask him about who owns the rights to the blade locker.
Wait a minute. Where you see that at?
That's up in the it's up in the kind of the middle part of the chat so far.
Oh no, gotta go back and find this. See, I tried to be nice to Jimmy. I tried to give him a compliment on his video that he put out here today. Here it is. Ask him who owns the rights to the blade locker. You know about this blade
Oh, I
locker?
know about the blade locker.
Look, we about to end this right here, right now on the video podcast. Jimmy and I, or I should say, I got beef Baroni with Jimmy Theodore Lewis, and that's his middle name. Theodore. I got beef with him because I was the creator of the blade locker in order to shove it in the Time Master and get the blade off. Then Jimmy came and Jimmy said he's the creator of it. He said he already trademarked it and everything. And I said, well, you need to send me some of them royalties. He didn't want to do that. I had to speak to his lawyer. Oh yeah, this was real deep. This was real deep. And I had my lawyer speak to his lawyer, and we came to a settlement. We said, all right, well, if we can't settle this out, then it's only one thing to do. And his lawyer said we need to have a stripe off. I said, a stripe off from Jeremy of the Green Line competition? And he was like, maybe. And I was like, listen, I can't strike. I'm in warm season. I got Bahihi here. What you want me to do? Strike the Bahihi happening. So we never settled that out. But I want the people in the chat to tell me who owns the rights to the blade locker. Is it Jimmy Theatris Lewis? That's his middle name, Theatris.
I thought it was Theodore.
B. Davis. Somebody said, B. Davis, do you still have a pallet of sod?
I'm not going to get in the middle of the whole, blade locker trademark thing.
No, you in the middle of it right now, Ben.
No, I'm just
You got to decide. You got to pick right now. You got to pick a side.
I plead the fifth. Does that work in this situation? I don't think it does, but
you can't. You're not in court. Look at this. It's coming in. Turf therapy. My main man Rob is in here. Turf therapy. Turf Tote said LTC all day. Yep. Lake House Lawn Care said bye. Hee. Nebraska said B. Davis getting all that money from his wife OnlyFans. Hey. Wait a minute. Nebraska, what you know? What you know, Nebraska? Huh? What you know about my wife's OnlyFans account that you guys can't subscribe to? I'll send you the link later, Ben.
All right.
It's only $50 a month.
Only.
That's all. Only $50 a month. So, And then if you want mine, I can send you mine too. Mine is only about $12 a month.
Well, I'm gonna Kyle from Lake House Lawn Care. He's another great YouTuber, and if some of these guys don't have YouTube channels, I do apologize. It's hard to keep up with who all has YouTube channels because it is growing significantly since I first started. But Kyle from Lake House Lawn Care, he's up in Chicago. He's got a real mode lawn, puts out great content. Go check him out. Give him some love. Rob from Turf Therapy, I love it. I really like Rob's mix. Rob's got he's got a great mix of content, lawn care and garden stuff. I've learned a lot of stuff from him. Go check him out. Backyard all day. Don's Lawns. What's going on, buddy? Down in Corpus Christi. I did my graduate work down there. The lawn analyst, let's see, George from Princess Lawn Care.
Don just got accepted into the Fire Academy too, so all the smoke going to you, brother. They need you out there, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, give Don some. Yeah, that's true. I was gonna mention that, and thank you for reminding me. That's awesome. Don was actually an athletic trainer, and he's switching his career over to a firefighter. Right. Most of you guys don't know, but I myself used to be an athletic trainer, and I'm now a stay-at-home dad. But I know the life of an athletic trainer, and it's hectic.
Wait a minute, we ain't gonna just bypass this. You used to be an athletic trainer. tell us this story. The people want to know.
What do you want to know?
Like where for who? Like there to be some stuff. Like was you a ball player? Was you on the football field? Was you in the croquet? What happened? I mean, where did that come from?
So I was a cross country and track runner through high school. I ran my freshman year at college, had several injuries my freshman year at college, and I hung it up. And at that I was I think at that yeah I was at school at that point. I was at school doing mechanical engineering, or trying to, and realized that was not for me. And I switched my career over to athletic training and transferred to Missouri State down in Springfield, Missouri, and got my degree in athletic training. Then I did my grad work in kinesiology at Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi. Was an athletic trainer there for 2 years while I was doing grad school, and then I came up here to St. Louis. Was working for one of the big hospitals up here called Mercy. Was working in the Mercy Sports Medicine department. Was working at a high school, and then I transferred. I moved into the clinic there, so I was seeing patients and doing therapy basically. It was more of a regular job. It was as far as hours, it was 8 to 6 or something like that. Seeing non-operative and operative patients that and did all that work. And when we had our second kid, that was just kind of the daycare. How B. Davis and everybody else in here that has kids, you guys know how expensive daycare is. And it was just going to be a wash, and it wasn't going to be a realistic thing for our family. So at that point in time, I was actually looking to switch careers and leave athletic training. And it just made sense for me to be the one that transition to be staying at home, taking care of our kids, and the rest is history. And during that time, it was kind of my last year of athletic training was pretty rough. I just was not having a good time in that career, and it was affecting me and affecting my family. And I kind of dove into the lawn care stuff even more. Like, lawn care has always been a big part of me, and part of like what I do. And I started making videos because it was just another outlet, another way to kind of get relief, I guess. And I just continued doing that after I left the athletic training profession, and now I am where I am with this, and I'm still a stay-at-home dad and doing all that stuff. So yeah, that's the story.
And that's a great segue, because Dayton has asked that. Now, I don't want to know that. I don't want to know the story. I just want to know, how was he a stay-at-home dad? I have tried it. It didn't work by no fault of mine. Well, there you go, Dandy. He just told you the story. Nothing wrong with that at all. Hey, if that daycare is, especially when you have multiple kids and things of that nature. I know people that spending $2,000 or so for daycare and everything. So
Yeah, it's pricey for sure. But not to abruptly change the subject, because I wanted to get to some of the questions I saw in the chat. Specifically, the first one I saw was from Kyle from Lake House Lawns. He asked, where was it? Oh, if you could choose a date that your lawn looked the best this season, what would it be? He said his is going with mid-June. I'm going to say mine looked its best. Probably 4 to 5 weeks after my fall overseeding and aeration.
I would say, all right, so I have to go. Oh gosh. I mean, in the past year, I'd have been in 3 houses. So which house do you want? Which house is your pick? The Florida house, the rental, Or I mean, can't be this house because I'm just starting to go on that. I
You
would
can
if I had to go.
you can cheat and pick whichever one you thought looked the best.
Well, we all know that rental didn't look good or nowhere near good in June of this year. We all know that. Um, maybe if I had to go back, I probably would say the same thing that Lake House would say. Typically around that April May April May area, I had the St. Augustine looking real good. The Bahihi was looking real good, in the backyard and everything. So for me, yeah, then of course Florida summer comes and it started getting hot. So that's a
Yeah.
good question. That's a great question.
Let's see. Anyone else drop a question up in here? Well, let me run through because I saw some new faces. Dwayne Swinton, thank you for
Oh,
tuning
that's
in.
my sister. D Wayne in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got Greg Aspenson. Thank you for tuning in. I have not seen you in the chat at least. So thank you. Let's see.
Don't ask me about Wild Turkey Night.
I'm assuming you know that guy.
I don't know who. I plead the fifth. Allegedly, I might know him. I don't know. Haven't really committed. I mean, I heard he was a good guy, but maybe nobody knows how good of a guy he is. I mean, who knows, really, right?
I don't know.
He's the greatest.
Scott O'Hare, he was talking about his lawn. My lawn has never looked as good as it does in December. Learning from the lawn
Mm.
care community, and I feel like the grass is healthier, stronger, and greener. Well,
There you
that's what I'm
are.
hoping that the community helps people make it look that way.
Here in Jersey, he say May his is looking good. All right, the guys are starting to throw wild turkey in there in the group here.
Greg Aspen asked earlier. He said anyone use a tractor sprinkler works pretty until it gets off the track and digs a huge hole in your lawn. I used to have a tractor sprinkler. I don't know if you know what these are, B. Davis. Um,
Seen them,
yeah, so I
yes.
used to have one. I actually gave the one I had to my cousin.
Hmm.
It's a heavy sprinkler because it's all like cast iron. The one I had was a Nelson, and I remember using them at the house that I grew up in. And well, I didn't really grow up in it. When I used to live in St. Louis as a kid, uh,
Right.
we used them in our yard, and then when we moved to Dallas, we had an in-ground sprinkler system, so we never used it after that. But I had never had a yard that was really like if I didn't have an irrigation system in this current house, the tractor would probably be a decent way to do it just because it's a huge lawn. But the old lawn that I had, it wouldn't be a real good option just because it was a pretty small lawn. So
So I was this close back at the rental a tractor sprinkler, the
okay.
John Deere one. And if we're talking about the same one, it's shaped like a tractor. It got the little and it kind of follows your water hose.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to get one of those off of Facebook Marketplace, cheap plug for cheap for about $20. Somebody was selling one, and I was going to go in and ask. I was going to ask for five. They went in at 20. I was going to say, listen, give it to me for $5 and you got it. But they sold it. Um, but my thing was that I would have to have a long enough water hose to kind of because I was dealing with like 5,000 or so square feet in that backyard over there,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I would have to have a long enough water hose to kind of go out and around in order to set it up to make sure that it travels and hit all the parts. But is it really that bad on the grass?
I don't think it's bad. I think I think Greg was talking about when it comes off the hoe or like when it's not following the track, it'll just the wheels will keep spinning and probably keep digging a hole like the rear wheels because it's just driven off the pressure of the hose and it spins gears and that's how it turns the rear wheels and I think when it falls off its track or something like that it can dig a hole. I don't know. I've never had that experience before, but then again I have not actually used one since I was a kid. So
It might be time. It might be time to look on that marketplace. And oh, now how about this? How about this? How about this, Ben? If I get you one, of course, off of Facebook Marketplace for cheap, for nothing over $2. If I get you one and send you one, will you use it? And will you do a video on it?
well, I mean, I already have an
Yeah.
in-ground sprinkler system.
Nah, that's not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you.
I'll do one just to have my kids playing it. I'll do a video with it.
Deal. I'm on it. I'm gonna start looking. People gonna want $30. I'm gonna say I give you $2 for it today, Venmo or Cash App. I also could give you let you swipe the food stamp card if that's what you prefer.
Kyle, also Lake House Lawn Care, he said, would you rather have an in-ground pool and above-ground sprinklers or in-ground sprinklers and an above-ground pool?
Definitely in-ground sprinklers and an above ground pool. Reason is because neighbor around the corner, they are getting a pool put in-ground pool, and boy, did they destroy their front grass. I wish I could have took a picture. If I was more prepared, I would have took a picture. I would have been like, oh, let's screen share this and show everybody the streets. But wow, I mean, the tractors and everything just destroyed their grass. So yeah, definitely give me the irrigation and a above ground pool.
Yeah, I'd probably do that because if I ever wanted to do an in-ground pool, I'd just do it later. And in the meantime, at least I have an in-ground irrigation system. I personally would never get a pool in the first place just because I grew up with one and I know how much maintenance actually goes into it, and I don't want to have that at this point in my life. So I'd rather have a hot tub.
You rather have a hot tub?
I'm well, yeah. That I'd rather have that than a pool because it's just easier to maintain.
Well, yeah, and then I reckon I guess because I mean, yeah, you're in Missouri, so a hot tub would definitely make sense. I had a couple friends in Florida that had hot tubs and everything. Well, I mean, we used it maybe
Once,
once,
yeah.
like December or maybe even January, but that's it. It's a buddy that got a hot tub shop down the street here, and every time I look, I'll never see nobody there. I'm like, Jesus, are you making money?
Yeah. Sean Perez and Blank Man in the house. Thanks for tuning in. Man, this is great. I just love the fact that there's so many people coming in every week. It's so cool to me. I don't know. Hey, the neighborhood the neighbor dominator. I'm sorry, I butchered that when I first saw it.
Yeah, you did. That's Clint. That's my man right there. That's my Michigan brother. Look, he's B Davis. I love when you were wearing the Lions gear. Detroit for life. Yeah, I was rocking my Lions hat, my shelf. Jesus Christ, my chef outfit on Thanksgiving. I had the apron, the Lions apron, and I had the Lions chef hat, and it was a good day. Did you catch that?
Are you talking about on your Instagram story? I
Yeah,
noticed you had your Lions hat on.
that was it. Yep. And I had the apron on too. And lo and behold, I had nothing on under that apron. If you want to know, put it out there. You can take it however you see fit.
I'll leave it at that.
Here we go. We got a good question for you here, Ben, from Scott O'Hare. He said, what do you like the best to winterize / putting the lawn to bed?
uh I don't know. I don't really necessarily have like a favorite or particular fertilizer I use, because I haven't been doing it long enough to really like hone in and be like, oh, I love this fertilizer or this, that, and the other. I've tried different things. Uh, I just kind of go with what most people say for your winterizer fertilizer, just making sure it's a fertilizer that has, excuse me, Mostly a quick release, if not all, a quick release nitrogen source like urea or ammonium sulfate. I didn't. I honestly, my last FERT application was, uh, let's see, it was October. I think it was like a week or so before Halloween, and I would have liked to have actually done a later application in the middle to beginning of November, but I already had my irrigation turned off, and I just didn't. I would have had a plan. I would have had to actually plan it around, rain and those types of things, but I just didn't get around to it. I think I'll be fine. I mean, the lawn's still holding some decent color. I can definitely tell it's starting to check out right now after having a handful of pretty good freezes and that kind of stuff. So I don't necessarily have a particular favorite, but I don't know about you. What about you?
Surprisingly, I never had to winterize any of my lawn equipment. Now remember, Florida. So and when I heard about this, I was like, wow, that's really what they do. Like, actually, you got a bid and drain was constantly cutting. Even November, December, January, February, I was still constantly cutting once a week. At that juncture. Here now, yeah, I of course with the new sod and everything, which um I haven't cut yet. It's been 1 month now with the new sod. So technically right now, I guess you can say that the lawn equipment and everything is winterized. It's in the shed and all that kind of stuff, which I got for free off of where? Can you guess where I got the shed from, Ben?
Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace for free, 7x7. But yeah, so I guess if I'm gonna winterize anything, I mean, I guess this kind of would be it. Not messing with the lawn. Nothing went down on the lawn yet. Not messing with the mowers. But I always found that interesting. About winterizing your equipment and winterizing your lawn and everything.
Yeah, I've never lived in an area that you didn't have to kind of get your stuff ready for lawn or for the winter. I mean, I guess when I grew up down in Dallas, we probably should have, but I don't remember actually doing that. And honestly, here, really the only piece of equipment that I would probably have to quote unquote winterize is my lawnmower because
Hmm.
I guess maybe and my trimmer too because I use my blower throughout the winter, but now that I have some electric stuff, I may not even need to. Uh, I don't know. I may not even need to. I may need to start winterizing my blower because I'm not using that as much because I'm starting to use more of the electric stuff. That's one of the pros about electric lawn care equipment is you don't have to do anything other than just clean it. You don't have to change any oil or winterize it really. You just clean it and put it away.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess that's the good thing about it, I mean, but I guess I would definitely see, maybe next year, definitely, depending on what the temperatures get to, if that's going to be a route that I'm going to have to go in or not.
Yeah, because you're a little bit farther north than you were in Florida, weren't you? I mean, not by much, but you're a little bit. I mean,
Oh yeah,
as far
yeah.
as like I know like as far as the latitude goes or
Yeah,
longitude.
yeah, for longitude. Yeah, it's funny too because in Florida, I was living in the central Florida, and here in Texas, I'm living in central Texas. Yeah, I guess um if I look at Daytona Beach all the way up to the top, about the same difference probably from here in Austin all the way up to the top or so, give or take, if that. I'm not sure how far Oklahoma is from here. I know Oklahoma from Dallas is maybe what do you think? About 2 hour drive north, and you're in Oklahoma,
The border of Oklahoma is probably about an hour
right from
from
Dallas.
Dallas. Yeah, if you were to go to like Norman or Oklahoma City, it's probably I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, So yeah, probably about that. I see some green coming in here. I see
Yeah,
from
Scott
Scott
O'Hara,
O'Hara.
thank you so much. I mean that is greatly appreciated. Um, those things do honestly the super chats do help the channel out. You know, I try to put what I get from the channel to support the channel and those types of things. So, you know, Scott O'Hara, thank you so much. That does mean a lot.
Mm,
I don't know, just thank you.
good, yeah, and it's great that it's going to you and your channel because it was me on live and somebody dropped me $20. You know what I'm spending it on?
We don't. What are you gonna spend it on?
Terramano tequila. That's what I'm gonna spend it on. Yeah. What else we got going on there in the chat?
Well, Brett said who winterizes their lawn equipment. You should have probably maybe done it in Utah. I don't know. Maybe you were that rebel. Maybe you joined the Connor Ward status and just let it be all winter.
Brett and I talked about this, and once again, I got beef with Brett too
You
because
got a lot of
it
beef
was.
with people. I'm glad I'm not on
I
that
got a lot
bad
of
side.
I got a lot of beef out here. It was a trade. What happened is that Florida initiated a trade with Texas for me. So of course they had to ship me out. In that trade, it was according to three teams behind the books too. It was a Texas, a Utah, and a Florida trade. So what happened was Florida traded me to Texas, and then that way Texas gave a future first round pick to Utah, and then Utah traded Brett to Florida. So that's how that went down. Now, if you ask me, of course Texas got the better pick um, of the two, but I'm sure that Brett would say something different. That no, Florida got the best pick, la 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 la, because I got this going on. So that's my beef with Brett. And he got to get that warm season Bermuda grass going, or he ain't gonna get on a shirt
Well,
that sun.
I'm gonna burst the bubble here because he got some sweet Bermuda sod put in this past the last couple days.
Did you see
Yeah, do you
that?
know what
Did you
kind of
see?
Bermuda it is? I do.
I I sure
What
do.
kind is it?
It reminds me of Bahia, but I think it's pronounced Bimini
I
Bermuda.
think that's right. Yeah.
But if you ask me, that's cheating. That's cheating, Brett. How is Brett going to get Bermuda side put down from a company, Bethel Farms out there, and without even putting in the work himself? Who does that? Who moves to a whole nother state and get in a whole nice, beautiful house, and then the first thing that they do is have a company give them
Well,
side?
hey now,
Who
we
does?
can't be ripping on Brett because he can't really. I mean, he can be in the chat, but he can't really speak for himself right now. That's like we're like holding his arms behind his back right now, and just saying.
Get Brett. You get Brett in here. Somebody triple screen him. Send him an invite. We got questions. We need answers to all this.
Brandon from Bush League Lawns asked, "When are you gonna start real mowing?"
Say it again.
Brandon from Bush League Lawns asked you when you're gonna start real mowing.
How come I'm not seeing any of these? Any of these?
I don't know.
What is going? Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. What are you going to start? When are you going to start real more? Oh, Bush League. All right. So here is another story from yours truly, B Davis. So I will be back in Florida next week. Of course, to handle some beef business that I got with Brett. That's what I'm going for. But first, before I do that, I am going to stop. And this is a great question because I love to hear a lot of you guys that have real mowers. I love to hear what you guys think about this. Um, I am going to stop and hopefully pick up a Greenmaster 1000 off of
Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace. They need to start paying us for that. So a guy in Florida is selling a Greenmaster 1000 for $150. And so I called him. I contacted him, the person, and they gave me his number. I called him, and he told me that it's been sitting in his warehouse, off the ground and everything on like a nice, concrete floor. So technically, that's still on the ground. But I understand what you're saying, buddy. He said it hasn't been rained on or anything like that. He said he just haven't used it in probably about a year. So he just got it up for $150, and it's been up for weeks. And of course, Florida is mostly St. Augustine. You have a couple people that have Zoysia, a couple people that have Bermuda, but it's mostly St. Augustine and Bahia grass throughout. That of course it's not going to get snatched up as quickly as it would, probably like here in Texas, where it's a lot of Bermuda or other places. So I was like, I'm gonna go for it, and if it works, if everything works out, then lock it in. But once again, he asked for $150, Lake House, but your boy B Davis, I'm gonna go in at 75 bucks.
You think he's going to take it?
He ain't got no choice. Look, look at this thing. Here you go. Hold on. Let me give you the eyes and let me give you the look, and you tell me if you don't be infatuated. Let me fix the voice. Yeah, $75. Will you take that, sir?
150 is as low as I can go, sir.
See, that's why I can't. Look. I ain't got no time for that. 150. That's what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in low and see how low I can go, and then we'll see. Then I'll be letting you guys know sooner or later. Maybe might get back on or something and be like, here it is. I bought it. So we'll see.
I got to say, Pacific Northwest, he said sod is cheating. While I may think that for a cool season grass, with warm season grass, I don't think you can really go any other route. I mean, I think seeding. I know you can't get St. Augustine seed. I know you can't get.
That's right.
Can you get Zoysia seed? And if you can,
Yes, you
it's
can.
probably super hard to grow.
Xena.
So that's just what I know. I don't know. I've never really had to sod. The only thing I did with warm season turf was plug it at the old house with that wild Bermuda. So
Brett said, I personally laid the sod, pal.
he did. I know he was. I know him, Alan, and the Ginger were working hard the last couple days. Oh, and by the way, thank you, Brett, for your $5 tip towards Braandon.
There you go. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. That is my man. I do understand that. What else we got? B. Davis must work for Facebook Marketplace. John, they should. They should hire me, man, because I be finding these deals. I be just all over. That's the first place I look. Anytime I want to buy something now, I check Facebook Marketplace. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of it. I got a 3-year-old, And also, if I can buy it cheap, then I'm going to buy it cheap. Then first and foremost, that keeps me out the doghouse with the missus. I mean, about that band. That keeps me right out the doghouse. And I ain't gotta hear it from her yelling at me and everything of that nature. But some stuff I do buy, brand new and everything also, but I check Facebook Marketplace first, and then I take it from there.
The accountant said if you can find me a Time Master on Facebook Marketplace for $500, he's in. I don't think I've seen him in. So thank you for tuning in. The accountant. Have you seen him around?
I have not, but that's a great challenge. Where is he at? Where
let us know where you are.
Yeah, put us down there. Tell me, because now we talking something. If you can find me one for a Time Master on Facebook for 500, I'm in. All right, you give me the 500 and I'll find you one. Um, and I'll tell you after that I paid 100 for it, and I'll take 400 commission.
I did see. I mean, it was probably 6 months or so ago. I found a Time Master on. This is right after we moved in. I found one on Facebook Marketplace. It was pretty cheap. I think it was like $500 or $600, but I didn't. I didn't pull the trigger on it. I was just kind of playing around in there because I wasn't even looking for that. I was looking for something else, and I saw it. But
I still think that unless somebody in the chat can tell me otherwise, I believe that I probably found the cheapest Time Master, maybe of all time. When I bought my Time Master off of Facebook Marketplace a couple years ago, I paid $300. Now, it was $300. I got the Time Master. I got the I got a sharpener also, like the Ryobi double wheel sharpener. I also got a couple of lawn tools with that, and something else I can't remember. But the guy who I bought it from, I drove down to Melbourne and everything, Florida, of course. And the guy was moving to Pennsylvania. It was a sad story. He said he had his own lawn company. His cancer came back, and he was like, "Well, it's time to go now." So he was like, "We have to go back to Florida. I mean, back to Pennsylvania with our family." And so that's what happened. I went there for the Time Master, and he was like, "Brother," he's like, "Man, listen, you can take you say you want this, you want that, you want this." And I was like, well, no, I mean, I don't want to take your stuff. And that's what he said. I was like, man, all right. So $300 for all of that, So if anybody can tell me if they got a Time Master cheap, did the accountant say where he's from?
Minneapolis.
I can't mess with that. I can't Minneapolis. I am a original Michigan man. I am a original Detroit Lions fan. And we got beef with them. Don't tell Ryan Nor.
Dandy Lawn Care, or Lawn and Maintenance. I'm a huge Honda guy as well. I've played, obviously have my own Time Master now. I really like it, but my Honda will always be my go-to. I don't know. Maybe the Toro Time Master will win me over at some point, but I'm a fanboy for sure.
So you like the Honda? I never used a Honda before ever.
I've up until this year, I've never used a piece of Toro equipment. The only piece of equipment I've ever used was, as far as lawnmowers go, was Honda. Nothing else.
Huh. I hear that they cut great as well.
Yep.
I hear that they cut but maybe I'll put that on my, well, I can't put it on my list because I'm cutting short. Cut your grass out there.
I'm around 3 1/4, 3 1/2.
Is that about the set height,
Yeah,
or
I don't usually go at 4. I mean, I know some people say tall fescue you should go 4 or whatever, but I usually go around 3 1/4, 3 1/2. I think it looks the best, and it's been maintained pretty well at that height. So
so so let me ask you this, Ben. Let's dive into this a little deeper. Tall fescue. Who has the best tall fescue? You, Law Whisperer, or Rob for turf therapy? Go.
I'm gonna have to go with Lawn Whisperer, and not because he's my other co-host.
So what you're saying is that his tall fescue better than yours. Your tall fescue look like crap
I didn't say
compared to his.
crap. I just said it looks better
That's
than
what you
me.
said. That's what you said.
No,
Oh, so his grass.
no, it does.
Oh, so
Sure,
yours
we'll
look like
go with
crap
that.
then. Look at Rob. Rob said his. Rob ain't holding nothing
I would
back.
say mine probably looks the worst out of both of those because they didn't. I had a lot of fungus this past year that I had to deal with. So
I think your grass is fine, man. I always had this infatuation about like with tall
Mm-hmm.
fescue, you know, just because it's height wise, cutting wise, of course, is the same as like St. Augustine at 3 to 4 inches
Yeah.
around there, and just that color. I forgot about
Yeah.
Pete. Pete got some
Yeah.
great
I would
stuff
say
too.
Pete's got to be the best out of everybody as far as I'm concerned. So.
I think Elevated got some tall fescue there. Elevated landscape. You got some tall fescue there too, right? If memory serves me correctly. Watch them come in and say, "No, I got behavior grass." What do you say? You had a struggle. Turf said something to you there,
Oh
man.
yeah, that's true, Ben. You had a struggle and still turned out great. Great. I didn't turn out great until the end of the season, but yes, it was a learning experience for sure this year.
Hmm. How now? Have you ever had to deal with like any short grass before, or cutting it low, or anything, or it always been that high
I'm
grass?
always I've always dealt with well, no, at my last house, that's when I had that short Bermuda that was like 5 or 600 square or 5 or 600 square feet. That's all the shortcut stuff I've ever had or owned. So
See, and that's why I had to kind of mine too. Now going from cutting 4 inches to Bermuda, going to be cutting it half inch because line tools messed up my brain now, and they done got me hooked now and everything. I have no choice but to cut it half inch. It's just getting in that motion.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
is it's going to be exciting. If everything can pan out for me, then is going to be exciting if I can get the front where it needs to be, and in the back where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Bermuda that you have over there.
It was just a common Bermuda. Bermuda. It wasn't anything special.
So my Bermuda I have here in the front is Celebration Bermuda. Of course, it was created from, I believe, like Texas A&M and like Kansas State or whatnot. Of course, along with like size solutions in there. Size solutions. Get your grass from them. Cheap plug. Um, and when I tell you how soft this Bermuda is, it's outstanding. The only other soft grass that I have placed my feet on was when I went to Allen and I got in his zoysia.
Hmm.
Boy, that is exactly what the Celebration Bermuda reminds me of. And then in the back here, I have Latitude 36 Bermuda, which is a soft grass, but it could take a little bit more of a beating.
Sure.
That's why, like, the dogs and everything is back there and things of that nature. So I wanted Zoysia in the back, but the sod farm out here, I guess they didn't have enough Zoysia to fully finish the whole my whole backyard. So he was like, well, let's do latitude 36 and then get you kind of seeing you on your way. So um I am to get out there. Now I know the feeling now of all the cool season guys. When winter is here and they gotta stop cutting, they can't cut and they just be it's like you got that you got the itch. You
Yeah.
got the itch. And as soon as that weather breaks, as soon as that March starts to roll around, April, then it's like off to the races. That's exactly how I'm feeling now. I'm definitely feeling that way.
Yeah, I appreciate the break a little bit. I'm around this time. I'm usually ready to kind of turn it in a little bit, and usually about a month and a half into fall and winter, when I've stopped, I'm like, all right, I'm ready to get back outside, but I still have to wait a couple more months or a month and a half to get going again. So it's just the struggle.
Yeah, I mean, so what are you gonna do? In the midst of that, just kind of, you're gonna grow grass inside of a pot inside your house. Are you gonna get an indoor garden? going on and everything?
No, I usually during the
You know,
winter I start tackling indoor projects. Like I got a bunch of painting we need to do, and my main outdoor project that I'll actually be doing a video on this is I still need to work on. I got a big organization system coming for the garage that I'll be installing, and I'll be doing a video on that. That's kind of one of the main videos that I have coming out over the winter, so that'll be fun to do. And because I love putting together a garage and like making it organized and making it look good. So that's kind of my main winter time stuff, because it's actually the system's coming right in the dead of winter, which is good. That's usually around the time that I'm itching to go outside and do something, and it's just too cold to go do anything outside. So
listen, I got some beef going on here. I try to be cordial here, but people just want to see me in them streets, man. Blank Man said, B. Davis, love you, man, but you can't keep up with 12-inch Bermuda. I need to know more about this. He don't believe me, Ben. He don't believe that I'll be able to keep up Bermuda and be out there cutting that grass every couple days. I have faith in me. Do you have
I
faith
have
in me,
faith in you
Ben?
with half-inch Bermuda. You just said 12-inch, but half-inch Bermuda.
I kind of 12 inch. I kind of resorted back to a story in college, but that's neither here nor there. And my wife is in here. All right, good. I can do what I got to do to keep it at half inch. I have no idea about real mowers or keeping them up or whatever the thing that they do with the paper and the bed knife and all that kind of stuff to make sure it's even and level. I don't know nothing
Well, you're
about
about
that.
to learn.
I ain't gonna learn. I'm gonna just put it on the ground and just go. I ain't gonna touch a thing. I ain't gonna, I ain't gonna touch it. I'm gonna just bring it all the way from Florida. Throw some gas. You know what? I'm gonna use the gas that's in it and just start it up and just go. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Oh my God, I am gonna ruin this grass, man. No faith. But the good thing about it is that I don't have neighbors around me. I don't have nobody to the left of me. I'm talking about nobody because they haven't even started clearing out
Mm.
the lot to build. I have nobody to the right of me, behind me here. Nobody at all. They haven't even started clearing out. Only neighbor I have is across the street from me. A good guy, a good guy. Him and I was talking the other day, and I was giving him some tips and everything on the line, on his line. Told him, I said, listen, brother, get it tight, man. I said, don't worry about none of that right now, because it's gonna go dormant and everything of that nature, with the weather change and all. Let it do what it gotta do. But we gonna get it tight. So that way, when they do start building, and when the neighbor, it's a couple houses that should be done in the next month or two. When they move in, they'll know what's happening. And I already spotted out my arch nemesis. I already spotted him out. Buddy down the street, who's closing on his house in January, he the other day, I'm outside and they come by looking at the house and everything. Buddy comes by, look at his house, get out the car, haven't even closed. They're not even done with his house yet. He goes and get the water hose and he's out there watering his grass. I knew at that moment that that's the guy. That's the guy I'm gonna be in a long-term battle with over grass, and I gotta get a good jump on them. I do right now because they got that common Bermuda, and I got this real Bermuda. So that's gonna be him. So if I can establish dominance now, then nobody else got a chance. Nobody else have a chance.
Well, we're about at a little over an hour now. I think I'm gonna start wrapping up the show. I want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in. Thank you, B Davis, for coming in on the show as my co-host today. It was a good time. You got anything coming out anytime soon? You want to give a little plug?
Yeah, for those of you who don't know me or anything of that nature, it is B Davis. My channel is called Long Time Behind Me, Long Time Coming. You can pop that in the search bar or whatnot. Give your boy a subscribe.
His info's down in the
And,
video description too, so go ahead and
oh,
check him out there.
there you go. Yeah, check me out. I got some wild stuff going on there. And for stuff that's coming up, I don't know. I don't know. I have a list of videos that I love that I want to do, but I'm just like you. I am enjoying this little kind of break and everything of that nature. I did my long time championship last week, and of course, I don't know, somebody won that. I don't know, some guy in Florida now, won it and things of that nature. So that came to an end, and we want to just keep pushing, man. Get some ideas, start talking a little bit more about this Bermuda grass out here going. I also have plugs out there, innovation zoysia plugs out there. Get that going, and I am also going to seed some midnight Kentucky bluegrass
There you
sonic
go.
whatever that my buddy Jason sent to me. I got a spot in my yard that I call it the Jason's Corner. I'm going to seed that with his midnight Kentucky bluegrass that he sent me a while back, like a year ago.
Nice.
And that would be his corner. So we're going to see if we can get that going.
Nice.
But besides that, man, I do appreciate it. I appreciate you inviting me on. I appreciate the conversation, getting us warm season boys on and everything. Now that you kind of got the cool season boys out the way, give us warm season brothers some love.
Well, speaking of warm season boys, I got Jordan from the Lawn Tools coming on next week. So we got another great show coming at you guys next week at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Friday. It's going to be a good show. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Scott O'Hare and Brett, for the super chats. That is greatly appreciated. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you want to listen to these shows on podcasts, they're on the main podcast platforms. They're on Spotify, Google Podcast, and they're now on Apple Podcasts, and they're on several others, but those are the main three. You can find all that in the description below. We got a lot of people on the show tonight. Be sure to give the video this a like. Don't forget to subscribe. All that fun jazz. I hope you guys have a great evening and a great weekend. Thanks so much for everybody tuning in. We'll see you next week. Have a good one, guys.